Another fine pitch black morning going to work. But not going to get into any specific, well, I might, but listening into the news where the situation with Hamas and Israel came up, and I'm not going to get in on that level, but I'm going to get in on a level where it's a mental awareness. To be able to, I'll just say it out this way. I've always been, or as I get older especially, I see I lack of tact, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. I'll point out the white elephant in the room, or whatever color elephant. I'll point out the elephant in the room. And one of the things I've noticed is trending, and I'm sure it's always been there, but if I just don't understand how people don't notice it. Don't notice the main thing, okay? If you're locked in, and I say that, and especially in a society where you have free, open, still to this day, journalism and able to talk about things. We have the example with Russia, where Russians are you're showing the division between those that are inquisitive and those that are old school, and they're willing to believe what the state-run media is showing them, and believing that that their cause is right, and believing everything that they say, when in reality all video shows different. You have the situation now with Hamas, where if you talk with the people of the Palestinians that are so pro-Hamas, they believe that their boiling point got to a certain point, and that their soldiers had gone across and killed other soldiers. They're refusing to believe anything, contrary. And to be specific, you get in this country where everything's wide open, and you believe you've got a group of minds that believe that an election was stolen, and yet you could show them different. You could show them numbers, and they're not going to believe it. You could actually show them the process of how it's done and counted, and they're still going to find a rabbit hole to jump into and say, yeah, but, and it just, I say this because before we get into AI, before we get into the AI generation, we better have our senses locked down. Okay? Where you look up in the sky, and if you don't know what it is, if it's a UFO, that's fine. start investigating what it is. But if it's a blimp, it's a blimp. You know? The other night I saw 4 things race across the sky. And it took me the third one, actually around the second one, they came in 2s and they raced because the wind was going. They were probably a few hundred feet off the ground and they had multicolor, and I was thinking maybe someone put something up that had more Christmassy type look and whatever. Well, even with my mind's eye and logic, they were good-sized lanterns. Whether it was fire or whether it was a battery-operated flame in there or whatnot, I'm not sure. But they were kind of funky-looking lanterns that someone released in the middle of the night. But it took me a while, like all of 3 minutes, to decipher what I was looking at. If it's unidentified, that's one thing. But when we are given the information and we still will come off with a conclusion because of our pride or because of our ignorance of facing reality, we've got a problem. We've definitely got a problem. You know, we're not talking about quantum physics here. Certain things are readily available for your understanding. But for you to stop in your process and refuse to educate any further in your mind because it might change the opinion that you have, we have a problem. Okay? If for some reason someone actually came with credible evidence and everything and said, you know what, there was a hidden little tweak that we didn't notice, and 1 and 1 isn't 2. Okay? They'd have to be pretty convincing. Okay? But we're not talking about something so conspiracy out there in the world that we shouldn't be able to see with our own eyes and hear with our own ears. And all scripture aside, let them who have, I'm sorry, let them who have ears hear. Well, the hearing part, even Jesus saw things exactly how they were, even though he was speaking in parables. And he was seeing things through a set of eyes that were far more deep than most anybody else around. And I use that as an example, okay? We have something that is right there on the face of it. Something that is very easy to discern. And people refuse to discern it. Okay? As soon as the Webb telescope started bringing out pictures looking deeper into space, we didn't turn around and say, yeah, but those lights really aren't there. This is something else. We don't question the astrophysicists because their minds can see things in a way that we can't because they're educated on it. Okay? But we're not talking about rocket science. We're talking about things that are very visible. The Hamas situation, the Russian conflict, I'll say the MAGA conflict, for lack of a better word, because it's conflicting in their minds. And when you get to just one element of it, let's say the election, there are things that can be shown to a person, the mechanics, the process, that can explain why the legal system says here. This is what was shown. This is the truth. You know, we do have a legal system as well. There's a reason why innocent till proven guilty is in there. The legal system works. Some people may not like the decision all the way because they're holding on to their own concept, their own grudges, but I can tell you right now, the legal system works for the most part. Consequences, the way that we hold people accountable gets a little bit screwed up, but the actual process of the legal system works. Okay? And so to see things for what they really are doesn't take a special set of glasses. It just takes an open mind. Don't be judge and jury too early or without all the evidence. And if something comes up saying something different and it is credible and it does change the landscape, you might want to fall with it. Don't refuse change. Okay? I'm saying all this because it's really, really hard for me to watch people go through that process and never come out of the end of the tunnel on any topic. Because once you do get to that point, you can turn around, set that sucker down, that issue, that whatever it is, lay it down on the ground, walk away from it, it's at rest. If you want to lay it at the altar of God, that's fine, but whole point is that you've made the most informed decision on it, you can walk away. Casting out those that are trying to tell you different, that are wrong, that are lying to you. Okay? The Hamas, the Putin, the power-hungry people, the ones that are so involved in themselves and they have a platform to raise their topic. Okay, their toxic poison. So, there. Sorry it took a little bit long. I hope everyone the best after Thanksgiving, this great weekend, this great planet of ours. I wish you nothing but love.